Hello, the MACKEM CABBIE here with the Sunderland AFC Daily News on March the 5th on this grey Wednesday. So where shall we start today then? Let's have a look at some of the headlines today around our lovely football club. So we're going to start with ex-Sunderland and Bayern Munich flop linked with Sheffield United without the club after release of age 23. And we're talking about the former Sunderland and Bayern Munich flop is still a free agent after being released by Gennaro Gattuso. And that we're talking about Leon Djaku. He remains without the club after his recent release. Djaku joined Sunderland from German club Union Berlin in 2021 before a clause was triggered in his contract to make the move permanent. The player eventually left Sunderland a couple of years later, having made 37 appearances for the Black Cats, scoring 4 goals and providing 4 assists. And some more headlines as well. Apparently a BBC pundit reacts to Regis Lebrie's significant Salis Abdul Samad decision as the midfielder was left on the bench against Sheffield Wednesday, with Harrison Jones preferred. Former Sunderland captain and BBC pundit has reacted, of course, to the head coach Regis Lebrie's interest in Salis Abdul Samad's decision against Sheffield Wednesday. As we all know, the head coach made 5 changes coming into the clash, with injured duo Dan Ballard and Enzo Lefebvre replaced by Chris Meffam and Romain Mundle. Chris Rigg was also rested for Alan Brown, while Lua Hjelde started instead of Dennis Serkin, and Eliza Mienda got the nod up front ahead of Wilson Isidore. And Willebrie made 4 substitutions in the second half, with Serkin, Rigg and Isidore all coming off the bench to help the Black Cats with a 2-1 win at Hillsborough Stadium in the Championship. Curiously though, however, Lebrie's opted to bring 20-year-old Harrison Jones onto the pitch ahead of Salis Abdul Samad and the fellow summer signing Milan Elesic. That was an interesting one, actually. You've got Milan Elesic and Salis Abdul Samad on the bench, who are recently more experienced midfielders. So for him to give Harrison Jones some game time ahead of them shows that he's got confidence in his ability. Apparently he's been seen quite a lot of the times with the under-21s by the pundit, and he is quite a tidy player. So that's good to know on that one. And of course some other news as well. We've got Sunderland are among a group of championship clubs who have agreed to make 3 tweaks to the current profit and sustainability rules for next season, rather than a complete overhaul of the rules. EFL clubs have been having long conversations throughout the season about the current financial fair play limitations, amid concern over the ever-increasing gap between the Premier League and Championship, as well as the financial disparities in the division, thanks to the parachute payments. And the Championship clubs voted in favour of tweaking the current PSR rules rather than a complete overhaul, with 3 major changes that will impact Sunderland starting next season. It follows a similar move from Premier League clubs who also voted to keep their current PSR rules for at least another year. In the Championship, the 3 tweaks agreed last week were keeping the loss limit at 41.5 million over a 3-year cycle, all clubs now needing to submit a profit and sustainability calculation at the end of a second year in a 3-year cycle, and finally a change in how add-backs are audited for profit and sustainability calculations in terms of investment in youth development and women's teams. The loss limit is actually a continuation of a change that was brought in for this season, increasing the loss limit of a 3-year cycle from 39 million. This was made to take into account inflation from the cost of living and has now been extended, having initially only been agreed for this season. So submitting a profit and sustainability calculation at the end of the second year in a 3-year cycle was previously only required by clubs who were under close watch by the EFL. Now all 24 championship clubs will have to submit them as of next term. Finally, the changes in how add-backs are audited for P&S calculations is not specified, but certain costs at football clubs such as running an academy, women's team and infrastructure are not included in the PSR calculations, and the tweak is understood to be around how that is audited. The 3 new changes will take effect as of next season, but Championship clubs are set to be continuing discussions on more significant potential changes. And another news, the Wearsiders, SAFC, rank the 15th highest in the wage bill in the Championship this season, with Leeds topping the bill at 715,500, where Burnley was second with 576,000, Sheffield United third with 558,000, Middlesbrough with 472,000. And we've got Luton Town in 5th with 459,000, and Sunderland in 15th position with 291,346 PW. I presume that stands for per week. So there we go. There's some hefty wage bills there, but Sunderland quite low down the pecking order. And of course, news as well about former Sunderland Lone star Danny Welbeck has recalled how icon Steven Gerrard elbowed him during his time with the Black Cats. Welbeck says he hasn't forgotten the incident which left Lee Cattermold and Steve Bruce absolutely fuming. And we've got our former manager, Lee Johnson, has Lommett SK appoints Lee Johnson as new interim head coach. James says, good luck, Lee, hope it goes well for you, SAFC fan. Football management, says Andrew, never ceases to amaze you. It's the only job where you can be absolutely dog crap but still continually gain employment. Hope he does well and rebuilds. He did okay for us, says Cass. I mean, let's not forget, he got us our first trophy at Wembley since 73. We're winning the Papa John's trophy. But you can't tell me that he did end pretty disastrous, but he got us that trophy, didn't he, at Wembley, and he gave us a good day, even though there was no crowd in because of COVID. And more in the Championship as well. No Championship side outside the top 6 has won more points since Christmas than Bristol City. So Bristol City making a really good effort of getting themselves into the playoff position. And another news, Sunderland could still muscle in on the Championship automatic promotion places this season, according to former Nottingham Forest, Leeds United and Sheffield Wednesday midfielder David Prutton. The Sky Sports presenter and Championship expert believes Burnley, Sheffield United and Leeds United are potentially movable in the race back to the Premier League. The Black Cats are 4th, with the Blades and Leeds firmly ensconced in the top 2 spots ahead of Burnley. Let's see what some of the fans are saying on this. Alan says, we have 3 hopes of finishing in the top 2. Ryan, Bob Hope and no fucking hope. Good answer. Warren says, I just don't see it. We could probably need to win 8 of our remaining 11 games. He says, our level of consistency this season proves it would be difficult. And he also says, it also relies on Sheffield and Burnley losing 3 games, dropping 9 points. And he doesn't see that happening either. So even if Sunderland did win the remaining of them games, there's a very highly likely chance that Sheffield United, Burnley and Leeds possibly could as well. John says, just can't see 2 of the top 3 imploding at this stage of the season to let Sunderland in on the blind side. He says we need to win 9 of our 11 to sneak in. And I think a lot of Sunderland fans are beginning to sort of realise that. And more about Jewison Bennett. Apparently he was told that Jewison Bennett's Sunderland exit is now looking likely as first called by Ior Barbas. The Costa Rica international hasn't featured in a single league match day squad under Labrie. Last first team appearance came against Preston in the Carabao Cup last year. So, and something else as well. Ex-Villa man values Sunderland duo at 80 million and makes Grealish and Maddison comparison. And I think what they're talking about here is former Aston Villa player Lee Hendrie has slapped an enormous price tag on Sunderland duo Jude Bellingham and Chris Rigg and compared the pair to James Maddison and Jack Grealish. Of course, the teenage duo were both recognised at the North East Footballers' Writers Awards on Sunday evening, sharing the Young Player of the Year accolade after a meteoric 12 months that has seen them establish themselves not only as key players for Sunderland but also as reported transfer targets for several Premier League and European heavyweights indeed. So I think, here we go, something else about Sam Allardyce. Apparently, former Sunderland manager Sam Allardyce says the club's successful survival bid in 2016 felt like winning the league after he helped save the Black Cats from relegation. The Weir side has looked doomed, of course, to drop out of the Premier League 9 years ago before Big Sam was drafted in to replace Dick Advocaat in October 2015. Fast forward 7 months and his side was celebrating survival after beating Everton 3-0 in front of a delighted Stadium of Light crowd. And Mendes apparently is saying hands off for Mendes. Mendes has already delivered happy verdict. Amid reporting transfer interest, he's already saying that he's very, very happy with the club, and why wouldn't he be? And transfer later says Ekwar's hint plus 11 million Cardiff City blow detailed. So apparently Pierre Ekwar, do we keep or do we sell? And I think a lot of Sunderland fans are saying need to sell. A lot of people are saying sell. Actually everybody's saying sell. One person says keep. Be sad to lose him, but if he wants away, best gone. One fan says he just got more lazier as the season went on when he was with Sunderland. So there we go. That is your daily news of the Wednesday evening. So enjoy the rest of your night and have fun. See you later.